Brian tries to dive away. The 109 easily stays in trail.
Talk about scaring you. The oxygen mask at 4 Gs is supposed to stay, but I had to hold it on because I was sweating and it was falling down on my chin.
The German inches closer.
He was out turning me as he was coming in, and he finally got his guns on me. Like I say, not through me, but on me. And had he got him through, he'd have pulled the trigger and he got me.
Brian summons a makeshift daredevil trick. He's only practiced a handful of times.
You snap the stick into your gut, hit full bottom rudder, throw the stick full forward again, and then neutralize it.
It's a death-defying maneuver he calls an inverted vertical reversement. Snapping the stick in tight stalls the aircraft. Ruddering down drops the nose. Incredibly, the torque of the propeller then twists the plane counterclockwise. Brian then pushes the stick full forward, neutralizing the effect. Only a supremely confident pilot would attempt such a bold move. Don Brian buries the stick in his gut.
Your head hits the canopy, and the prop twists you around. Your airspeed is down to nothing, and you fall for about 2,000 feet until you pick up flying speed again. In the meantime, you have disappeared from that guy that was onto you in a fraction of a second.
With one ingenious move, Brian has escaped certain death. The Mustang plummets for an agonizing 5 seconds before its Hamilton standard propeller starts chopping through the air again. Brian has survived, barely.
And Buster, I sure didn't go back after him.
But Brian doesn't break off to head for home. He is still in the middle of the frenzied melee.
It was just airplanes everywhere. And darn it, there were darn few friends around.
Below him, Brian spots one friend with some unwanted company. Brian is here. An ME-109 is here, chasing a squadron mate through the clouds below. Brian is desperate to save his friend. He rolls his Mustang over and dives to the rescue. November 2nd, 1944. Outnumbered and fighting for his own life, Mustang pilot Don Brian is now diving to save a friend. With the altitude and speed advantage, the Mustang Ace is poised to strike.
In a dogfight, when you have two relatively equal aircraft, the one with the most airspeed and altitude is at the advantage.
Brian squeezes a burst. The surprised 109 pilot breaks off and dives. Brian pursues his mark into a cloud bank. The German fills his gun sight. The Mustang's 6 Brownings deliver a third kill for the day. Brian joins up with the other Mustang as his wingman, but enemy fighters are still in the area. Flying at 10,000 feet, Brian catches sight of 2 ME-109s flying the opposite direction 5,000 feet below. Only 2 of Brian's 6 guns remain loaded.
I was running out of ammo, and finally The last two airplanes, I was down to my inboards.
But Brian is not about to let the 109s escape. He and his wingman split S, pulling out directly behind the Germans. Brian sends the trailing aircraft down in flames. He pours on the coal and closes on the leader. At just 80 yards, Brian squeezes the trigger.
It looked like a whole section of his wing came off. He snapped into the clouds. I mean, it was a snap to the left, and that's it.
The Mustangs climb back to altitude and return to base. Of the 38 enemy planes claimed by Mustangs that day, Brian scored 5.
We got more doggone fun than the law allows.
Don Bryan is awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross for the extraordinary mission. A mission deep inside of enemy territory that would not have been possible without another of the P-51's legendary attributes, its range. The Mustang's laminar flow wing and aerodynamic airframe reduced drag and boosted fuel efficiency. Over 1/4 of the Mustang's 11,000-pound max takeoff weight was fuel, giving the P-51 a combat range of well over 1,400 miles, twice that of other single-engine Allied fighters.
Gunther Rahl, the third leading Luftwaffe ace, says that the P-51 was able to do for 6 hours what the 109 was able to do for 90 minutes.
It was this amazing aircraft that could take off from a place like Duxford, England, go all the way to Berlin, do everything that it needed to do, and turn around and come back.
While the Mustang made its name in Europe, it also saw service in the Pacific, where it was the only single-engine fighter with the stamina to escort bombers from Iwo Jima to the home island of Japan, a 1,300-mile round trip. Pilots called themselves the Tokyo Club. The benefits of membership: bad weather, exhaustion, flak, and enemy fighters, any one of which could kill. June 23rd, 1945, 9:38 a.m. Mustangs of the 47th Fighter Squadron take off from Iwo Jima. They're on a very long-range mission to strafe an airbase north of Tokyo, helping to eliminate the threat of air attack to American bomber groups. Lieutenant Robert Scamara flies element lead in a flight of 4.
We didn't have to be tight formation, but I flew pretty close for something to do to keep me awake, because I had trouble keeping awake.
The thing that's exhausting about the Mustang is not that you're strapped in and it's too hot or it's uncomfortable, it's the noise. The noise is just absolutely wears you down.
Once over the mainland, the monotony fades. The 4 Mustangs of Scamara's flight prepare for battle.
We flew up and headed west, expecting to find this airfield loaded with airplanes, and we were going to strafe them. But instead, they were airborne.
7 Japanese fighters are at 9 o'clock low. 17 more are at 7 o'clock high. And one of them is targeting Scamara.
I see these tracers come by past my cockpit, and that's when I broke formation, which was a no-no. You don't break formation, but if somebody's shooting at me, I don't care what the regulation was, I was going to get out of there.